Something unusual and deeply alarming is happening behind the scenes of the US Iran talks. While diplomats are preparing to sit across the table in Oman, while global leaders are talking about nuclear limits and peace negotiations, Washington has quietly sent out a message that is raising the eyebrows worldwide. No, not to the governments, not to the military commanders, but to its own citizens. The US has urged all the Americans inside Iran to leave immediately. No delay, no waiting, no assuming that help is going to come to them. Just leave. That's their message. And you know what? This particular warning is sending shockwaves through diplomatic circles. Now let's pause here and understand why this is so serious. Governments issue travel advisories regularly, right? But evacuation style warning, and that too during sensitive negotiations, they are extremely rare because such messages often signals one uncomfortable truth. Authorities believe that the situation could deteriorate very, very quickly. Well, the timing makes the whole event even more dramatic because at the very same moment when the US and Iranian officials are expected to hold high stakes discussion in Oman, military tensions are quietly rising across the region. American naval deployments they have increased, surveillance operations are intensifying, defense assets they are moving into strategic positions, and alongside all of this, civilian warning they are being issued. Then comes the advisory from the US that carries a strong line. Americans were told not to expect government rescue operations if the situation inside Iran worsens. Now, this is not a routine diplomatic language. This is emergency preparedness language. Well, it suggests that officials are preparing for worst case scenario, even while negotiations are still being planned. Now imagine the scene that is unfolding. On one side, diplomats sit in quiet rooms discussing nuclear enrichment limits, sanction relief, and regional stability. And on the other side, military planners continue strengthening the regional defense readiness, and somewhere in between, civilians are being told to leave before it becomes too late. Now, this creates a very strange and very tense parallel reality, right? Peace talks moving forward, war preparations moving quietly in the background, both happening at the same time. But wait, why would Washington issue such a strong warning? Well, several strategic reasons are being discussed by analysts right now. First of all, the United States may be concerned if negotiations collapse. Tensions could escalate extremely fast. Second, in crisis situation, foreign nationals can sometimes become vulnerable or caught in political disputes. Third, evacuations are always easier before a conflict begins. Once tensions explode, travel routes often shut down overnight. And in the meantime, Iran is also watching these moves very, very closely. Tehran has repeatedly warned against American military buildup in the region, right? Iran sees increased US deployment as pressure tactics before the negotiations. And such evacuation warnings now, it can be interpreted in multiple ways. Maybe as precaution, as strategic messaging, or as preparation of escalation. In fact, the global community is now asking a very difficult question. Are these talks in Oman moving forward towards compromise or standing on the edge of collapse? Because diplomatic negotiations often succeed when trust exists.